Hi guys, I'm Tara.
And I'm Cassie, and we're the Twins of Crypto. And every morning we come together to give you guys our thoughts and opinions on the crypto market. Tara, how you feeling today?
I'm feeling a little bit better.
Okay, I'm so glad you are back. So I tried to do a solo update yesterday. It took about 40 minutes of filming and about 5 to 6 hours of editing. So I scrapped the video. So I'm so happy you're back.
Yeah, me too.
And happy you're feeling good. So
and the market hasn't done anything. So
yeah, well, it looks like it's about to push up. So this could be an exciting Wednesday.
Possibly. All right. So okay, so here we are on the Bitcoin chart and we're on the daily time frame. And so just take a look at these few last days worth of price data. So these last 3 candles are the last few days. We haven't really moved much. We're still sitting at that main 236 support and at that 382 resistance at 62.7. So these are, like I mentioned in a couple days ago, in our update a couple days ago, these are very key levels for us to pay attention to. The MA is curving up, and you can see it's sitting right at that 236 resistance. This is just signaling to us that this is forming into stronger support here at this 236 fib. And then also the MA on the RSI, these are slightly curving up a bit. So it does look like Bitcoin is building support, even though we have kind of steadied off on the price a little bit. So this is a good sign. It is an early signal that we are building support. However, we do need more development, at least on these higher timeframes, for us to confirm a new trend or the direction for longer term. And I also do want to point out that this halfway level on the RSI has continued to be resistance. We still need to break up above this level and up above this 0.5 fib here at 64.6, like I said, before we can confirm that new trend. So that's something that we're going to continue to be watching closely for over the next few days. So let's just have Cassie zoom in here and give you a closer look at what we're expecting.
Okay, you guys, so here we are on the Bitcoin 1 hour. You can see here we've been tracking a wave 2 coming down from that high at 65.5 area. And so we're still continuing to track this as wave 2. It is finding support at that 0.5 level currently, but the target wave 2 fib level is the 618, and that's at 59.9. That hasn't been reached yet. So that could still be in play as long as we're still, okay. Okay, so my chart just reset, but this wave 2 target down here is still in play as long as we're below that wave 1 high there. So another touch to the trend line could be possible. So we have this lower 382 fib here at 55.2, which I don't think it's going to touch. I do think we are on a new trend as long as we continue to hold these local supports, but that is the lower target that hasn't been reached yet. But if we do start to get really bullish like we should from these wave 2 levels here, we would expect our large wave subwave 3 next. So I have our targets here. You can see that it probably will extend. I'm thinking up towards 83.6 would be our subwave 3 there, but the normal target is 74.6. So I do think we'll get an extension, at least if not there, then on the 5th wave up to our larger target. So you can see that this is still okay for a new trend, but we really do need to break out of these areas for confirmation. So so that's really all I have to say there.
Yeah, and I don't necessarily like that we will move on with these 2 gaps here, because it hasn't hit that 618 for the subwave 2, and it hasn't even hit that 382 for that main wave 4. So I'm wondering if that's why we're just not getting that impulsive wave 3 that we need, because we're leaving these gaps, you know? I don't like the idea of moving on without those, but
yeah, it is still early though. The RSI is showing some strength. So we just have to wait for this to kind of break out here.
Yeah, we need more development for sure. And hopefully it just volume comes in and pushes us out of these levels, and then we can, be more confident that we are on that wave 3. So
yeah, so overall we are holding above a 0.5 retrace and above that bearish channel that was trending down. So we did break above that, and we are holding that for now. So yeah, there really isn't much more to be said about Bitcoin, really, other than that.
Yeah. All right, let's get over to Ethereum then. Okay, so here we are on Ethereum and we're on the daily time frame, and we give you guys a zoomed out view like this so you know what to expect on the mid to longer term. And then Cassie goes into the subwaves and shows you what we can expect today or within the next couple of days or so. So that's kind of how we structure these videos, just in case you're wondering why we start on this higher time frame and then zoom in a little bit. So on this higher time frame, Ethereum really hasn't moved that much. It hasn't really made any new waves, and it's still stuck between those critical levels. And so a couple levels that I do want to point out for you guys is this 618 extension here, which lands right at our main 0.5 support at around 2815. Because we are under this 1 fib here, this is still a level that could be touched or it could be met before we move on to the next wave. So definitely keep an eye on this. This is our current support. And I just want to point,
level did get met already.
yeah, this level did already get touched, but since we are under the MA and we're just ranging a little bit and under the RSI MA, it might want to touch that again. And we're not really too far off. We're at 2,900. So this is going to continue to be our support for right now. Is the only thing I just want to point out there. And then I also want to point out that this main 382 support here at 3115, this is our target fib for this entire correction. So in order for us to kind of confirm that we're moving on to the next wave, we would like to at least see the price come back up above this level and hold that level as support. And so that's something that we need Ethereum to do within the next few days or so in order for us to confirm that new trend. There's not much to go off of on the RSI because, as you can see, it's very neutral right now. It's just trending sideways. So the entire crypto market is just waiting for volume to come in so we can move on to that next wave, and we haven't seen that volume yet. So that's something that on the longer term we're looking for on Ethereum. Let's just have Cassie zoom in here and give you a closer look to see if we can get any further indication of what's going on.
Yes. Okay, so this is Ethereum 1 hour, and you can see this is our bounce there from that 0.5 level or 618 target that Tara talked about. On her exchange, it did touch. This one got really close. In a few updates, we were debating if this was the touch or not. But from that level, we are tracking a new trend. So you can see we have our wave 1, and now we're tracking a wave 2 coming down, which typically targets the 618, which is why I have this green box here. But you can see we are forming deeper retraces, which is still okay for wave 2, and we are holding a bullish trend on the RSI. So this is why I'm still tracking this as a wave 2. Unless we break down to a new low, this will not be a wave 2. But you can see we are still holding this trend okay. So I'm tracking this as a wave 2 unless we come down to make another low, which would be below that fib there, that 0.5 fib. So as long as we don't, this is a wave 2. And then let me show you guys where our targets would be for wave 3. So we are looking for a sub wave 2 extend once this does start to come up. So our targets would be at 35.26, 39.33, or a really extended 43.41. So these would be our sub wave 3 targets there. As we get zoomed in here, then really what we're looking for in the next day or so is just continued support at these local wave 2 targets down here. Unless it makes a new low, then we'll have to reset our plan here and reset counting a new trend. So we'll reset looking for a wave 1 and then a wave 2 from there. So overall, I'm just still tracking this as our sub wave 2.
All right, let's get over to XRP then. Okay, so here we are on XRP on the daily time frame. And really the same story goes with XRP in that it really hasn't moved that much. We're still sitting right at that 0.5 support level, which is around 50 cents or 497 or so, and it is holding it as support. The RSI looks to be flatlined a bit, and so like I said, we're waiting for volume to come in. We need a little bit more development in order for us to confirm the next wave that's going to come. So hopefully over the next few days or so, we will get that volume so we can share more updates with you guys and share more of what to expect. Right now, the MA is sitting right at that 382, like I've mentioned before. So this is our next resistance that hopefully we can break up above, which is at 515. And so it would be nice to be back back up above this price MA so we can start to trend bullish instead of right now we are a little bit more bearish, even though it is a little more neutral, but it is under that MA. So hopefully we can get back up above this resistance and above the MA. And then again, we have the bottom of the triangle that we need to pay attention to, as well as the top of the triangle. So these are something that we are going to be looking out for on XRP over the next few days or so, is coming back up to test that bottom of the triangle and hopefully break above it this time. So let's just have Cassie zoom in here and give you a closer look at what's going on.
Okay, so here we are on the XRP 1 hour chart. You can see we are just below that 382 retrace that it was fighting with for a while. So that the 382 retrace is at, I think you mentioned this level, Tar, 55, so 50 cents and a half. We continue to say that that's like a significant level. Right now it is under that. And then the break below that did flip our RSI to resistance for now. So I do think that it's possible we could come down to our 0.5 level, which you can see it did get close, but didn't touch in the last test. So that's at 0.48463. So at that price, we really want to pay attention to what the RSI is looking like. So like we always mention, this is a really significant pivot fit. So we really want XRP to continue to hold this level if it does come down to test this again. So what I'm going to be paying attention to like in the next day is the RSI hopefully breaking back up above this resistance that it created on the 1 hour, or a touchdown back down to support. If it does start to get bearish, I'm going to be looking for RSI divergences on that low. So we're in a little bit of a middle point here. So I'm either looking for a break back above this price resistance or this RSI resistance, or support down here. So it's really the same story overall for XRP. I think we're going to continue to range just in these local retraces until we get our next test of, like Tar just mentioned, these two resistance levels. So what we do continue to say though is it's really critical to watch the price action as these levels are met. What you want to look for is if we get a strong break of this bottom resistance here, it will have to come down to test for support. So even if it breaks up and hits this resistance and then it's support, always know that these larger resistances will need to flip to support before we get a really large break out of the area. So if we do come out and really break past this resistance at 58 cents, note that it will come back down to test that as support. And a lot of people will probably try to chase that trend, but then that's where they get a lot of people, is the test back down to support. So I wanted to mention that. So watch the RSI, watch the price action on all of these levels is key for your second confirmation on the levels. So that's how you kind of determine that, especially when the waves are unclear. That's really your second confirmation when you don't have any waves to go off of. So I think that's really it for XRP. I think we're just waiting for our large break out of here, waiting on Bitcoin's fifth wave, I think is what we're waiting on. Thank you guys so much for watching today's update, and we will be back tomorrow with another one.